Welcome, everybody, to the X Factor Podcast, Wrestling God Podcast, for today's episode of, we're going to be talking about Monday Night Raw in this first part episode of, today, or this is episode 2 of the X Factor Podcast, and today we're going to be talking about Monday Night Raw, and then I'm going to split this clip, and I'm going to be talking about football later on, but that'll be in another video I'll be uploading later on. So, because I'm not gonna put both in like one video, so it's like 2 parts to an episode, kind of. Let's see here. First to start tonight was Kevin Owens versus Solo Sikoa. It was a really good match to start the match. And Solo, he got his first loss of his career in the main roster after Jimmy came in and took out Kevin Owens. And Roman's been trying to get Kevin gone, Sammy gone, and they also have Cody problem too. But for a big guy, Sikoa, he's quick. Solo Sikoa is one of those people on the roster that at some point down the road he needs a big push, And Kevin Owens, he's at this point of Kevin Owens' career, it's like he's a veteran, but he's also one of the upcomers at the same time, But after the match, Solo and Jimmy are taking him out, and Sammy came out, tried taking them two out, and then Sami Zayn would not shake. Or Kevin Owens would not shake Sami's hand. If you remember last episode, I said Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn could potentially come back together tonight or last night. So it didn't happen. It was a great matchup to start of Raw, and a very good episode of Raw, in my opinion. So yeah, that's a great way to start the show. Next matchup was Bianca Belair versus Carmella. It's very. I think it was a predictable match. We all knew Bianca was gonna win, but we just didn't know how it was gonna go. And coming up to the match, Chelsea Green and Carmella were together, and I'm just letting you know right now, Carmella, Chelsea Green, I love the pairing for them too. It's worked. It's worked. Or it's going to be working really, really well for the next couple months or whatever, that they're going to be a tag team. At some point, they're going to be going for a tag title, so hopefully, because, that's something, that I would like to see. I love the group. That's a good pairing by Triple H, whoever runs that department. Great pairing for them, too. And with the match, Bianca Belair and Carmella, Bianca obviously won. And there was a couple times Chelsea Green tried to get in or tried to get involved, did not work. So, Bianca took her out, took out Carmella. It looks like for a second Carmella was going to win. And then, boom, Bianca took her out. And after the match, they're both taking her out. Chelsea Green and Carmella were taking out Bianca. Asuka came out to help Bianca and sprayed her mist or whatever in Chelsea Green's face after Carmella moved. For some of the people that think that Carmella's going to be put in that matchup, you save yourself, because it's not going to happen. So, and with Asuka and Bianca, it's with that feud that's going on, it's there's not really much talking. It's more like they have a match, someone comes out, they look at each other, Besides last week there was a match and a little bit of a promo after. So, I'm hoping the next couple weeks we'll get a couple promo segments out of Bianca and Asuka. I think that'd be good. Asuka, with her character, I don't really think she's gonna talk much, but all I know, it's gonna be a good match at WrestleMania. So we're gonna get this going. And I've heard some people not liking Mella's new entrance, or the entrance she has now. But She's not the FABULOUS anymore. Sad to hear, but well, she hasn't had that in forever. So, but that's another good matchup they had. I believe there was another segment. I'm not remember what time part of the show it was, but it was Maximum Male Models were out there, and they were trying to what was it? Oh, they were looking at Otis and Chad Gable and Baron Corbin, bum ass Corbin, whatever you want to call him now, back to his old ways from 2 years ago. Wanting help. He's lost money and everything. I love Corbin to death, but we need Lone Wolf Corbin. So but no, Maxine Dupree said they need to get rid of Chad Gable. So an interesting development happening with that is that they're trying to get Otis and not Chad Gable, and I don't think Chad Gable realizes it, and I don't think Otis realizes it. So later on, it's gonna be interesting on how, because I feel like they're gonna try to make Otis pick between Chad Gable or Maximum Male Models. Me personally, I think he should go to the Maximum Models, give him another, time with another group, because he's not really been the main guy on anything since he's been on the main roster. And then, he had that Money in the Bank run, and then, that kind of got squashed by The Miz. So, and then Chad Gable, like I said, he's been on the main roster since 2016, and I think he's only had tag titles to show for it. So, that's all he's been in his tag teams. So, and I think he's like, I'm not trying to put it in perspective though. He's like today's Kurt Angle kind of. So, because some of the times he's funny, he's a good athlete, he's amazing wrestler. So, but yeah, that happened. I don't remember what time in the show it was, but I know the next match we had was Omos versus Dolph. Not really much happened. Omos squashed Dolph. I was hoping to see Brock Lesnar get a face-to-face there, because a lot of people are hating on the Omos Brock rivalry. Me personally, I don't have a problem with the rivalry. Honestly, if you think about it, every match that Brock has had since 2021, or since he's came back this past 2 years, have not been the best. He's had, or have not been long either. He had Roman versus Brock at Crown Jewel. Wasn't really a long match. It was a alright match, but it wasn't a long match. The Fatal 5-Way, you also have 5 different people in there, so it's going to take longer. Bobby versus Brock, it was a good match for that. Alright match, I guess. And then, short, kind of. The WrestleMania, or the Elimination Chamber, like I said, that's going to be a longer match. The WrestleMania match was one of the most disappointing WrestleMania matches, main events. Let me see here. The next one he had was at SummerSlam, and I believe that was the best match he's had since coming back. Let's see here. The Crown Jewel one from last year, boring in my book, because all you're getting is spears, F5, suplexes, F I used to love watching all that, but now it's just like it's not really fun to watch. He came back at the Rumble. He was in there for a little bit, got out, and then Elimination Chamber, that match was awful. So, having Brock versus Bray, I know Brock turned that down, because when you're also going to have a short match with Bray Wyatt, but Brock Lesnar doing all this, Firefly Funhouse stuff and all that, Brock's he's not one of those guys that's going to do it. Bobby Lashley's a better fit for that. But with Omos, you can get an easily 4 or 5 minute matchup, get what you need to go, and get out. So, but the only problem I have is at WrestleMania. If you can have it at any other pay-per-view show, whatever, but WrestleMania, I don't know. And a lot of people have said that Vince was back just because of that move. I'm like, it's only one match that he's put on. That doesn't mean he's back. He can suggest things in creative-wise, but at the end of the day, Triple H still has the final word. And, with a lot of Brock stuff, he would rather have Vince, because, if you notice, when Vince retired, Brock was going to leave again. Or he was going to leave. Or the reports was that he left the show and all that. So So yeah, with the Omos Brock thing, that's I'm just hoping to get a face to face in the next couple weeks for them too. Another thing, Dolph Ziggler and Mustafa Ali. I honestly don't know. It's been going on for a while now. Dolph, it was trying to like teach Mustafa Ali a couple things. Mustafa, was like, want me to just smile, be happy all the time, and well, he did that. And now he kind of looks somewhat stupid. But and again, the last time we saw him, he was, always wanting opportunity after opportunity. But yet he'd lose every opportunity he gets. So quit asking for an opportunity when all you're gonna do is lose. So, yeah. So that's pretty much that. We'll probably get a matchup between Dolph and Mustafa sometime down the road on Raw or whatever. So, Logan Paul came to Raw after that, I believe, or it was before that. That was it was an interesting segment because, it started off with The Miz coming out. And it was before the Omos match. So, Miz came out, introducing Logan Paul and all that. And then Seth, he came out. And the choice of words they brought in there was interesting. And there's a couple points I noticed Logan Paul say that he's just generally good at it, at what he's doing. He's not bad. I gotta agree with him. He's not bad at being a heel. So, as much as I hate him, as much as I know a lot of people hate, he's not bad at all. You see a lot of these celebrities coming in, they're kind of bad and, they're mid. But Logan Paul, he impresses me every goddamn time. And then, as much as I hate him, as much as I freaking, every time I see him on my TV screen, I just want to kill him, Not really, but like, just, I can't stand him. And, Seth, being Seth always, with the whoa. They were doing that for a couple minutes at the start, and their Logan Paul and Miz were like, well, we got a freaking time limit here. Boss did not like that at all. But it looks like it's gonna be official: Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul at WrestleMania. I do think Seth is gonna win that one, and because I'm not really expecting Logan Paul to win that. So, I think it was a good, all right start to the rivalry. Well, they already started over in Royal Rumble. So, yeah, that's that right there. Gargano versus Finn Balor. I love this matchup. It was great throughout the entire like from start to nearly the finish. It was great. Everything I loved it. And Edge cost Finn Balor the victory there with pushing him off the top rope. But one thing I'm just hoping by WrestleMania that'll be the end of their rivalry, because this whole Judgment Day stuff has been going on for over a year now. It's like, and I get people a lot of people like long-term storytelling, and a lot of people don't. But as long as they're keeping it good, I don't really have a problem with it. I think it's been good throughout the entire thing. The three main long storylines that we have had throughout this last couple months is the Bloodline storyline that's been going on for like 9-10 months now. The Bray Wyatt storyline's been going on for 5 or 6 months with the Uncle Howdy stuff and all that. And a lot of people are hating on it because, it's a long, but yet the Bloodline story was long, even though the Bloodline story is way better. But with Bray Wyatt, it's just like, it gives you more questions than answers half the time. And that's what I like about it. It gives you more questions after, like, who's this, who's that, what's going on here, stuff like that, And with the Firefly Funhouse, episodes or whatever, that makes me feel like the Fiend's coming back at WrestleMania. It gives me just a weird feeling. If that is happening, I think that will help Bray Wyatt get his popularity back to where he used to be. Um, but in another long storyline was Judgment Day's storyline. Edge was the leader's Judgment Day from February up to about June. And, he left for a little bit, came back. Left for a little bit, came back. Left for a little bit, now he's back. So, I'm hoping they end this at WrestleMania I want it to be a Hell in a Cell match. So, that would be great for them. But Gargano does get the good victory there. Boosting up his popularity just a little bit. Needs to fix the theme song, though. So, another match, not really much happened, was Piper Niven versus Nikki Cross. I think it was just like a time matchup. Plus the stuff that happened last week. Piper Niven got the win in a quick match. So, not really much to talk there. I just want DIY to come back. So, yeah, and then the next segment they got, I forgot the Bobby Lashley segment. Bobby Lashley did talk for a little bit at the start, so I thought he was gonna get like a segment. No, it was just a backstage segment. So, yeah. John Cena returned. That was amazing to see. Theory came out, offered him a match at WrestleMania. Cena said no. I was like, what in the world is this man doing? He is saying no to a match at WrestleMania. So it's like, what are you doing, bro? And then, he says he doesn't deserve it and all that. And I'm like, he kind of has a point, somewhat. And, Cena cooked him. Cena cooked him, burnt him. You see Theory next week, he has burn marks all over him. He got freaking toasted. And, Cena told him to leave and whatever, shut up, leave. And Theory, he didn't leave. And, well, Cena did end up saying a U.S. title match at WrestleMania. And like I said, U.S. title match at WrestleMania. I do think Cena's going to lose. Because what's the point of having him, this is his first match up since SummerSlam of 2021. Or, yeah, if you tag match and then the SummerSlam match of 2021. He's not really been there much. So, why have him come back and win the belt? That just seems like a Vince McMahon booking right there. Just based off if Cena wins. Have a part-timer come back and win the title. If I would like to see Cena win the belt, and then a month or two after, Theory wins it back, gets that victory back off Cena. But as of right now, I do think Theory should beat Cena at WrestleMania just for the resume popularity. And plus, if Cena does lose to Theory, he has to go back out on Raw, and he has to listen to a bunch of freaking hateful fans. You beat my childhood hero. Boom. Theory's going to have to explain all that. So, that was something right there. There was another segment. I don't remember what else, too. Rick Boogs and Elias were talking because, Rick Boogs is trying to get under Elias's wing and all that. So, it's, trying to get them two going a little bit, And Elias was like, go tell the big guy over there, I want to fight you. I'm like, oh, no. So he goes over there, and Bronson Reed comes up, and he goes, I heard you want to fight me. And, well, next week we're getting Elias versus Bronson Reed instead of Rick Boogs versus Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed is really, I love Bronson Reed. I don't know what is it with him not getting fan reactions. I don't get it with WWE fans not reacting to much of anything. If you go to AEW, if you look at AEW shows, these fans are going nuts. I don't care. They don't care if it's bad or good. They just want to cheer for it. And I don't care if it's bad or good for WWE. At least pop for some of these guys, Bronson Reed is one of those guys that I think is slowly coming up on the radar for titles. And if he does start winning titles, he needs to start getting more of a reaction from the fans, because that's one thing WWE wants to hear is the fan reaction. Hell, fucking Karrion Kross doesn't even get a reaction, and Karrion Kross ain't that bad, in my opinion. So that's pretty much where it stands with that. So Bronson Reed, he's gonna get a match next week. He's gonna win. Momentum's gonna be going quick there. Chad Gable versus Baron Corbin. Another really quick match. Chad Gable ends up with the win. And Baron Corbin will not be part of Maxwell Male Models after that. So nothing really much to talk about with that. Chad Gable wins. Short match pretty much. But the next segment was Becky Lynch, Trish Stratus, and Lita. Lita and Trish, Becky came out, and then they introduced Trish, and I've always loved Trish. But the way she acted last night before Bayley and them came out, I don't trust her. I don't trust her because she's looking at those belts and everything, and she'd take that opportunity for a title or whatever. I don't trust her. I don't trust her at all. And then Trish Stratus offered she said to watch, like, Bayley should watch out, and they came out, and Trish offered them for a 3-on-3 women's match or a 6-woman tag match at WrestleMania, and Bayley said yes, and Dakota Kai and Io, they looked shocked for a second, then they took out Lita and Trish, and then they threw them out, and then it was pretty much Bayley and them three. So it's gonna be an alright matchup, I believe. I just don't trust Trish at all. So but the next matchup, the main event, Sami Zayn versus Jimmy. That's a lot of things we gotta talk about right there. That main event, first off, the main event was amazing. I love the main event. That's the right Solo and Kevin to start, and Sami and Jimmy to end. Those were great picks for, great booking decisions right there, in my opinion. Sami Zayn, his popularity people, like, a lot of people were worried if his popularity was going to go down after Roman lost, and his popularity hasn't lost. In my opinion, I still think Cody gets more over than Sami now after the whole thing happened, because now it's Cody and Roman. So, Cena kind of gave that, passing the torch to Cody on Raw last night. So, that was a really good match. Sami Zayn, Jimmy came out. Jay came out at the end of it and kind of distracted Jimmy, and that's where Sami got the win. And Jay was, they were looking at Jimmy and Jay were looking at each other in the ring, and Jay, he went over, and we all thought, Sami, he picked Sami, and that's what we all thought was gonna happen. It was gonna finish it off right there, and boom, Jay hits Sami with the super kick, and it's like, you think I was gonna pick you? This is family shit. But wow, that was a great ending to that. And then Solo, Jimmy, and Jay were taking him out, and then Cody comes out after. And there's one thing that caught my eye during the Bronson Reed segment as well, when Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens were talking in the back. And I think Cody Rhodes is trying to get Kevin to help, because if you get Sami and Kevin to help, Cody, all he needs to do is take the world title. Them two need to take the tag titles. Boom, do that. Bloodline's coming to an end. As of who's gonna take out Solo, we don't know who's gonna take out Solo. I would like to see Solo turn on Roman though, because I want to see a Roman Solo Sikoa matchup down the future. As much as Solo's getting popularity more up, I want to see Solo take out Roman. So, great Monday Night Raw. It was really great. So, let me know in the comments what you thought, and let me know what you think. What do you think is gonna happen? With the Bloodline and everything. Give me a minute here, because I'm gonna review NXT for tonight as well. Because there's quite a few things NXT is on tonight. Roadblock is on tonight. I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna review it. Let's see here. We got a couple matches that's gonna happen. So one of the matches, Braun Breaker versus and the Creeds versus Indashir and Jinder Mahal in a 6-man tag match. Jinder will not, Braun will not be defending the titles there, but I do think after this week it will be a build up for Carmelo and Braun for Double or Nothing. It's gonna be a good matchup. I love Indashir and I love Jinder. I love Jinder Mahal. In NXT. So that's gonna be a great match. Tiffany Stratton, Miko Satomura versus Roxanne Perez. I want Miko Satomura to win, but I think she's gonna lose. But whoever wins that match, Tiffany Stratton's going right after him, and I think that's gonna be great for her personally. But the only problem is if Miko Satomura wins, you gotta deal with Roxanne Perez as well. So we could end up with a triple threat later down the road. Or if Roxanne Perez, it's gonna be her and Tiffany at I am forgetting the pit. It's not Double or Nothing. I am so stupid. Oh my god. I am blanking on this one, but at the next pay-per-view, NXT pay-per-view, so, and JD McDonough's going after, Ilya Dragunov. I don't know if they have a match this week, but they'll probably get it at the next NXT pay-per-view. Joe Gacy will be facing Andre Chase at NXT Roadblock. I think Joe Gacy's going to win. And I think Duke Hudson's going to turn on him after that. So, that's my prediction on that. And I believe we have a Jailhouse Street fight for Dijak and Tony D'Angelo. I do think Tony D'Angelo is going to win that matchup. And then, I love Dijak right now. He is one of the guys that can go after an NXT title right now and, do his thing. But one of the things I'm looking forward to on NXT tonight is the Grayson Waller Effect special guest Shawn Michaels. Grayson Waller, as you know, he's been going after Shawn. So, and I think I know what Shawn's going to bring. He's going to bring Dragon Lee, and it's going to be him and Waller and Dragon Lee at NXT at their next pay-per-view. Like I said, I can't remember the name at the moment. I'm out of here. I'm going to look it up. All right. I can't. I'm trying to find it here. My bad, everybody. I am trying to look it up here. Stand and Deliver, that's the pay-per-view. Okay, so I think all that's going to... What I was just saying, what's going to be in for the future is all going to be at Stand and Deliver. I believe I already said Stand and Deliver earlier, but I don't know, I was just off. So, Dragon Lee versus Grayson Waller at Stand and Deliver. And then another match we got going on tonight is Gigi Dolan versus JC Jane. And Gigi Dolan last week, she pulled off a great promo. I love the promo. I think she did really good on that. A lot of heart came into that too. So I do think JC Jane's going to win tonight, but I do think if they have another match, Gigi will win. But NXT Roadblock tonight's going to be amazing. Um, I do like what they're gonna do now with how NXT's going right now. I do like what they're doing. So, um, so yeah, that's pretty much that for today. Like I said, this is the second episode. I am doing really bad right now. Give me subscribe, and because that really helps me out a lot. I'm trying to become more of a podcast host. Let me know what you think I should do better at, so I know what I need to do to get better. So, any disrespectful comments, I will delete those comments because I am just looking to see what I can do better. What else, or like questions you have for me, I will answer on the next episode. There was none of them for me on the last episode. Of course, it was the first episode. So, I will talk to you guys later on. Later. Have a good day, and the next episode or the next little segment I will have up in a little bit will be NFL talk. I'll be talking about free agency, the news, and everything that's been going out. So, stay tuned for that, and I will talk to you later. Bye.